Hey guys, I'm going to report about the profitability and trend analysis of a retailing company. So my learning objectives are to know more about profitability ratios and to apply the profitability ratios in a retailing company. So my company that I've chosen is the Philippine 7 Corporation. Philippine 7 Corporation or the PSC was registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC on November 1982. It acquired from Southland Corporation, now 7-Eleven Incorporated of Dallas, Texas, the license to operate 7-Eleven stores in the Philippines in December 13, 1982. Operations commenced with the opening of its first store in February 29, 1984 at the corner of Camias Road and EDSA, Quezon City, Metro Manila. The company grew slowly in its first few years of existence. So we have here the Philippine 7 Corporation Statement of Comprehensive Income and Statement of Financial Position. So let's proceed with the ratios. So first, we have the return on total assets. So return on total assets indicates how much profit the company makes on its total assets. Technically, it tells what earnings were generated from invested capital. So for 2010, we have the formula for return on total assets is net income over average total assets. So for 2010, we have the income of about 270 million divided by the average total assets. So here, average total assets of about 3 billion. So we arrive at 8.95%. 8.95% is considered unfavorable because the industry average for a retailing company is about 10.4%. So next, for 2011, net income is about 350 million divided by the average total assets of about 3 billion. So we have 10.44%. And for 2012, we have a net income of about 460 million divided by average total assets of about 4 billion to arrive at 11.2%. So next we have the return on equity. Return on equity reveals how much profit a company earned in comparison to the amount of shareholder equity found on the balance sheet. So for 2010, we have a net income of 276 million here, about 276 million, divided by the average for shareholders' equity. So it can be found here. So we have, for 2010, we have 23.66%. It is considered favorable because for a retailing company, the average return on equity is about 17.7%. For 2011, we have a net income of about 350 million. So we can see it here. Divided by the average shareholders' equity of about 1.3 billion. So we arrive at 26.7%, still higher than the average of 17.7%. And for 2012, we have a net income of about 460 million divided by the average shareholders' equity of about 1.7 million. So we arrive at 27.1%, still above the average of 17.7. Next, we have the gross profit margin. Gross profit margin is the percentage by which gross profits exceed production costs. So for 2010, we have a gross profit of about 2.9 billion divided by net sales of about 8.3 billion, so we have 35%. 35% is considered favorable because the industry average for a retailing company is about 30 to 40%. So next, for 2011, gross profit of about 3.5 billion divided by the net sales of about 10 billion, so we arrive at 34%, still above the average of 30 to 40%. For 2012, gross profit of about 4.4 billion divided by net sales of 13 billion, so we arrive at 35%. Next, we have the profit margin. So, profit margin for 2010 is net income of 270 million divided by net sales of about 8.3 billion, so we have 33%. For 2011, net income of about 356 million divided by net sales of 10 billion, so we have 34%. And for 2012, we have net income of about 460 million divided by net sales of about 13 billion, so we arrive at 36%. Lastly, we have the net profit margin. Net profit margin is displayed as a percentage. It shows the amount of each sales dollar left over after all expenses have been paid. So the formula for net profit margin is EBIT over net sales. So for 2010, we have EBIT of about 405 million divided by net sales of 8.3 billion, so we arrive at 4.9%. 4.9% is considered favorable because net profit margin of a retailing company has an average of 2.9%. So for 2011, we have EBIT of about 580 million divided by net sales of 10 billion to arrive at 5%. And for 2012, EBIT of 670 million divided by net sales of about 13 billion to arrive at 5.2%, still above the average of 2.9%. So let's go to the summary of findings. For the favorable, revenue from franchise increased for the past 3 years because of continuous expansion. Earnings per share during the period grew and is pegged at 1 peso and 17 centavos per share from 89 centavos per share in 2011 and 69 cents in 2010. Revenue from merchandise sales registered an increase of 24.1% to 11.7 billion for the past 3 years. Philippine Seven Corporation manages its assets efficiently to generate their earnings. Lastly, PSE posted quite a high level of income after all expenses have been paid. So, Philippine Seven Corporation doesn't really have any problems regarding their profitability. So, for the conclusion, Philippine Seven Corporation has been found to be profitable, posting above industry average ratios. PSC derives its revenues principally from retail sales of merchandise, commissions, marketing income, and franchising activities. The primary expenses consist of cost of goods, general and administrative expenses, and income taxes. So there we have the profitability and trend analysis of Philippine Seven Corporation.